Ascension Island down to the Falkland Islands and dropping 21 1,000-pound bombs in a stick across the runway there, hitting the runway with 2 bombs, which was all it needed. Here she is, rolling her takeoff run. Listen. And the extraordinary sound of the Vulcan howl. She really does make the earth move. You can feel your chest cavity vibrating. And of course the other thing is about the Vulcan, she's so beautiful. The combination of the sound camera shots of the Vulcan as she comes past. She is, of course, a truly historic aeroplane, representing the very best imaginative, thinking out of the box virtues of British aeronautical design and engineering. In some ways, those virtues don't exist anymore because we build very few whole aeroplanes in this country these days. But here she is. Is spooling down there as they take the power off and come back on again. Of course, Vulcan started life as a nuclear bomber out of the triumvirate of Vulcan, Victor and Valiant. She was painted bright white then, and when she first flew in 1952, only 11 years after the Lancaster first flew, an extraordinary thing. When she flew, bombers are not supposed to do that kind of thing. And here's Martin and Bill bringing her in slowly and gracefully. And there's the bomb bay opening. That's the weapons bay that carries 21 1,000-pound bombs. And she flew all the way from Ascension Island down to the Falkland Islands, which is a trip about as far as from here to Santiago. And Martin and his crew, a crew of 5 of course in those days, 2 pilots, 2 navigators, a radar and a plotter, and the air electronics officer, the AEO. They planted their 2 bombs on the runway, one on the centre line and one on the edge, and that was enough to stop the use of the runway and prevent the Argentines basing their fast jets on the island, which probably would have had a significant effect on the war. It also gave them the idea that their homeland was also vulnerable should that become necessary. So it had an extraordinary effect on the Falklands War, did the Vulcan. Bombay still open, just about to close, closing now. So when she started her career as a nuclear bomber, she was bright white. When she handed the quick reaction alert over to the Royal Navy for them to take over the nuclear deterrent, she became camouflaged as we see her today, and in fact this colour scheme, she has the Lincoln coat of arms on the fin, the panther's head of number 1. She's called the Spirit of Great Britain. And that's because she encapsulates all this, the great British never say die bulldog spirit. So many people said this aircraft could not be put back into the air when she retired from Royal Air Force service in 1993. the great British people said yes she can, and they put their money where their mouth is, and they've spent nearly £8 million getting this aeroplane to this stage. To describe quite why she has this effect on people. She's something like a piece of aviation artwork, really, and she affects people very deeply. But of course, throughout the whole project, the real elephant in the room has been money. They originally intended to have big business sponsorship, but her timing was just rubbish. She may not ever get big business sponsorship. She does get an awful lot of help from lots of different companies, well, and including the Civil Aviation Authority and Marshall Aerospace, but AD Holdings, Air BP, BAE Systems, EADS, Goodrich, Jeppesen, Judd Power, Kearsley Airways, Meggitt, Messier, Doughty, Rolls-Royce and Subaru, all contributing an awful lot. Two people who really have been outstanding in their support for Vulcan. Sir Jack Hayward making outstanding contributions, and also with great rambunctious generosity Eddie Forrester of Aerobytes, giving lots and lots of money to this cause. She continues to need your help. You 2055, the word Vulcan to 82055. It'll cost you £3 plus your standard text charge, and that money goes to the Vulcan to the Sky Trust and helps to keep this magnificent old lady going. Spiralling down, I think she's getting her wheels down at the moment. Yep, gear down. Hearing are fun and worthwhile things to do. We've found since we started displaying the Vulcan the hugely positive reaction of youngsters to seeing it. We need in this country something like 500,000 new engineers in the next 7 years. This is an aeroplane that can help us do it. So, you know, if you're in the business, then please do think of coming in to do some kind of sponsorship. As I said, she's been rechristened the Spirit of Great Britain. What does he do? Well, this is sometimes known as the electric jet. Everything that's important on it runs on electrics, and the AEO is the man who manages all that. Plus, of course, he keeps the pilots in check. No navigators allowed on board for display purposes, so just the 3 of them on board. So we'll just see XH558. The one and only flying Vulcan in the world, the only Vulcan that will ever be flying as she comes into land. And we hope that she's going to be flying in 4 years' time. We particularly hope she's going to be flying in 2 years' time for the Olympics for Her Majesty's Jubilee, when we hope she'll fly over Buckingham Palace. Now look at that. Martin keeping the nose up, aerodynamic braking, allowing the airflow to hit that huge delta wing, and the air brakes out sticking on top of the wing, still keeping the nose well up, 16 wheels on the ground.